And 3, 2, 1. Hi, babe. I am
Uh,
so excited that you're here with me.
yeah, I am too.
Everybody, this is Fireman Canalia, Mr. Hayden Canalia. He decided to join with me and decided to talk to me, and I just love seeing his face. Everyone has to remember, I was there when your mom was pregnant. I was there during the whole thing. I wasn't there when you got conceived, but I was there during the whole time. And what a life you have had so far, honey. I
Yeah, been
seriously, I,
crazy.
it is crazy. Everybody, this is Hayden Canalia. He is the son of Dee Dee and John Canalia. He is an Orland boy, our one Taco Bell town,
Yes.
coming to you live. Actually, not live because this is going to go into the cloud so everyone can see it. But so I'm just going to get into this because I actually, on the Steve Monica show,
Hmm.
I said, and I couldn't believe how many people were talking about it because
Yeah.
so you graduated high school. So you graduated in 2020.
Hmm.
Then you decided to join the Coast Guard in March. Then you graduated in July. And then it's like this whole circle of thing. But you wanted to be in the Coast Guard. I remember you talking about it like
Yeah.
forever.
Hmm.
So give me a rundown. Like, what was your, so when you graduated, were you like, I gotta do something. I don't care what it is. I gotta do it.
So I graduated high school. We didn't have the best graduation. But
You graduated during the pandemic.
yeah, I graduated during quarantine and all that good stuff. And then I think I started working. I was working at grocery outlet at the time, and then I left there. And then while I was working at Save Mart in Chico, um, I really like started like wondering like what am I gonna do with my life? Like I don't want to just work in a deli like the rest of my life. And I wasn't going to college. Didn't think about college or anything like that. Didn't really think it was for me. And then I went on the fires, and that's when I was like, you know what? I watched The Guardian. I remember I watched The Guardian. I was like, that, like it seems cool. Like I was watching this when I was 8 years old, and I think maybe now this might be something I want to do. And then I remember I was texting my mom while I was up there, and I was relieving her, so I was just letting her know how everything was going and stuff like that. And then I was forget what I was doing, but then I texted my girlfriend at the time, and I was like, "Hey, this is what I'm gonna do." And then I started talking to a recruiter, and the recruiter was in Alameda, which is like 4 hours away from Orland. So I would have to drive back and forth to this recruiter station and just sign paperwork and stuff like that. But yeah, that was kind of like the build up to from graduation to like signing papers and getting ready to go to MEPS and stuff like that.
Now, how was your parents' reaction to this? That's what I want to know because I never really got it out of him. Was it hesitation? Was it, oh,
Mhm.
that's what he's gonna do? Of
Yeah.
course, that's what he's gonna do.
So my mom, I mean, you know how my mom is. Like, she's very like she doesn't want to see me gone from home, but she was very excited for me. And my dad, very excited, very very excited. He really wanted me to. He kind of pushed me a little bit, to help me go in the right direction with it. But yeah, they're both really supportive, like about the entire situation. They said, well, no matter where you're at, we'll like come visit. We will help you, like whatever way we can help you, we'll help you through it. So yeah, they were extremely supportive and stuff like that.
That's awesome. And I know that, so just to give everybody a backstory, so your father and my husband were roommates,
Hmm.
and then I met my husband. We moved in together. The three of us became roommates, and then he met your mother. So I have known you literally your whole entire life.
Oh yeah, yeah,
And it is true. When you were 8 years old, you said, I'm going to join the Coast Guard.
Yeah,
I'm
I
going to move
remember.
to Alaska. I'm going to have property and I'll be able to hunt and I'll be able to get venison anytime I want and I'll be
Yeah,
able to do whatever I want. And so seeing that, and especially during the quarantine,
yeah,
that was extremely tough also because it kind of put everything on the back burner. Like,
you did.
you could sign up, but you had to wait. And I mean, that was kind of tough, wasn't it?
Yeah, so there was definitely a wait period. I think I was signed up for almost. I, I was talking to the recruiter for about, I would say, almost 8 months, like 8 months. But after I got to basic and I was talking to some of my friends there, a lot of them were signed up for almost 2 years, 3 years, just because of the processing that the Coast Guard has, and a lot of that had to do with I had surgery in 2020, I think, and I had to get a lot of that signed off. And of course, if that wouldn't have been a thing, then I would have probably left sooner. But I mean, yeah, it definitely backed up a lot, and it changed basic training a lot as well.
Oh, I bet.
Hmm.
So coming from a one Taco Bell town, our
Yeah.
population is 7 and change, if anybody is wanting to know this.
Mhm.
Um, it when you first originally fly out for basic, walk me through that. Now you're by yourself,
Yeah. Yeah.
you're, you know, fresh out of high school, 8 months prior to that, never really traveled on your own. I mean, you never really have you? They don't prepare you for that. And then you get on a plane and take off.
Hmm.
Walk me through that. I mean, how was your thoughts? Were you scared? Was there scared excitement or was it just like, I cannot believe this is actually happening?
Yeah. So it was a combination of things. So before you get fly out to, it was Trace and Cape May. So we fly out to New Jersey. Before you go there, you go to MEPS, and you go through this. Oh my gosh, it's such a long process where it's last minute paperwork, and they're checking you. They're making sure like you're still good to go. You're still good to go to basic and stuff like that. So I remember I sat in at MEPS probably for about 8 hours, just sitting there, just sitting there waiting, just waiting to get processed and stuff like that. They actually forgot about me for about 3 or 4 hours, so I was just sitting there, and we don't have our phones or anything like that at MEPS either. So, and then after you're done with MEPS, you go back to the hotel, and I made some friends with the only coasties out. So MEPS is just a big it's where all of the military entry processors go. So everyone going to the Marines, Air Force, Navy, Coast Guard, all of them.
Oh, they
All of
put you all together?
Yeah, everyone, everyone's together, and there was probably around, I'd say close to like 50 people in. So we had a meeting, and everyone went around, and we're talking like, oh, what branch are you going into? And there was Army guys, and there was a lot of Marine guys, and a lot of Air Force guys, and a lot of Navy guys. And in the back corner of this MEPS room, there was like six of us, and there were six Coast Guardsmen sitting in that back little corner off to the side. And I was like, those are my people. Like those are the coasties that I'm gonna be going to basic training with. And I was actually in the same company
Hmm.
for a while with.
Hmm. And so you finish there, and
Mhm.
then do they just put you on a bus and send you out, or do you fly out? How does that work?
So you go. I remember the night before we take a bus. So yeah, you take a bus from MEPS to the Sacramento airport, and then you just kind of get on the plane. That was my first time flying like by myself. My first time flying was the New York trip that I took with my family.
Uh-huh.
So this was like my second time flying on a plane. So I was kind of nervous.
You're like,
Um,
where's my mom?
yeah, I was like, where. But the people I had around me, we had gotten pretty close, and they were helping me out. And I told them like, hey, it's my first time flying. Can you guys help me out? And they're like, yeah, sure, no problem.
Hmm.
So you get on to the plane, and they give you tickets. So I didn't have to, military covers it. So you get on, and it's just a normal flight. But we were sitting when I flew in from Trayson as well. I came in the same gate that I flew out.
Oh.
Yeah, so I thought that was super crazy. Like I flew in, it was like 8:10 or something like that. I flew into the same gate, and I remember we were sitting around in like a little circle. We were just talking because we knew like We were all so nervous to go. But you were super nervous, super excited. And then, so we flew from Sacramento to Texas, and our flight was late. So we had to like sprint through this, like, I'm not even sure which airport it was, but I remember my buddy Rocco, he's in the Air Force, and he was in San Antonio when I landed, and that's the closest we've been in almost a year. It's going to be a year really soon. That's the closest we've been to each other in about a year. And then, yeah, we flew from Dallas to Cape May.
Wow.
Yeah.
So up until this point, you know, it's hard to describe to people, which I'm sure you have it too, where you try and describe to people that culture shock is real.
Oh
Like,
yeah. Oh
it
yeah.
is very real. And everyone always says, oh, I do it all the time, or I get in my car and I drive here and I'm by myself for days on end. But you literally left the safety net of your
Yeah.
home, your town, your everything, where,
Yeah.
I mean, it is just crazy. And then you're supposed to start this whole new adventure and
Yeah.
you land. And then is it boots on the ground and you take off, or do they kind of just wean you in a little bit, or is it just immediate? This is training. This is how it's going to go.
So you land and then you go to this thing called the USO. I think I've only been in it one time,
Hmm.
but all active duty military and veterans can go. It's really cool. It's a little part in the airport where you can go. You can plug in your phone. You can grab some snacks. It's really cool. A lot of airports have it. I'm pretty sure most of them have it in the United States. Um, I do not think that the one in Hawaii, here in Hawaii, has one, but
Hmm.
um, yeah, so we go to this USO, and we're just sitting there, and I was super hungry. I mean, I flew from 4 o'clock to about, I'd say 8 o'clock. No, about 6 o'clock at night.
Hmm.
Um, just with all of, like, the changing planes and all that stuff. So we get there, and then we're all sitting there and we're just on our phones. I'm like texting my mom, like, oh my gosh, just landed. Like, texting my dad. We had a group chat, I think, and I was just texting him, like, I'm in the USO. I ate a Nature Valley nut bar. That was like one of the last. I don't know. I was like, oh, I know what that is. And I know,
Yeah.
like, so I grabbed it and then I put it in my backpack, and I was gonna eat it on my way on my way to Trayson. So um, then we go from the USO and we walk in lines of two to this bus, and we get on the bus and I'm sitting in the front seat.
Oh,
And
crap.
yeah, so the guys at the USO, they're not drill instructors or company commanders. They are like retired, but they're strict, but they're not like screaming in your face or anything like that.
Hmm.
So they're very like, okay, we're gonna walk in here. You're gonna open that door. The first person, they're gonna open the door, and then they're gonna walk to the back line, and then we're gonna move forward. And I was just like, holy cow, like, here we go, like, this is it. So yeah, then we get on the bus, and then we start driving to Cape May, and yeah, that was probably one of the roughest bus rides of my life. Like, you're sitting there, you're super nervous. All of us are so nervous. I remember just sitting there and just talking to everyone about, like, what's going on and like where everyone's from and stuff like that. And we had people from all around, which was really cool to like get to talk to people from different states and different backgrounds and stuff like that. I was one of the youngest guys in my company too. I think I was the second youngest. There's a lot of older people, a lot of prior service who come
Hmm.
into the Coast Guard because it's a pretty good branch to come into. Um, so yeah, we were just sitting there talking, and then I remember we were pulling into Cape May, and Cape May is a very like pretty town. It's a very nice town.
I've
It's like
seen pictures, man. It's awesome.
it's gorgeous. Wish
And
I
they
could have
and
been there.
they support the coasties, right? I
Oh
mean,
yeah,
they like,
oh
you guys are like the real deal there. I mean,
totally,
that's awesome. So
yeah.
you pull in and you're just like, holy crap, this is amazing.
Yeah.
My life is gonna suck for the next couple weeks.
Yeah. So we pull into the gates, and
Mhm.
I remember I texted my mom and said, "I'll talk to you soon. Goodbye. I love you." And that was like the last text I sent her. And we go in, and they do this thing with the bus. So they pull straight like this, and then they turn, and then they back us up. And I remember, I'll never forget this. So, and now that I've like met these guys, my company commanders, like outside of the drill instructor world, it's pretty crazy. But I remember I looked over, and I looked over like this, and there was one like right here, and just like sitting there staring, and he started screaming from outside of the bus. He's like, "Did you just look at me?" And you just like start screaming. I'm like, "Oh man, here we go, already off to a bad start." So they come in the bus, and it's just like, "I want everyone off my bus right now. You guys have 5 seconds to get off my," and they start at it, and they make us get off the bus and go and stand on yellow footprints. Marines kind of have the same thing. They have yellow footprints outside, and they get us all off the bus, and we get our stuff. I just had like a little duffel bag. Did not want to bring. There were some people who were bringing like computers, and yeah, when I was at MEPS, there were people who were going and they had like computers, and like you don't need that. You need a change of clothes, and that's it. Like you don't
I'd be
really.
like, I got my Keurig and
Yeah.
I got a couple
Yeah.
pods. Anybody that's interested, party in my room. Let's
Yeah.
head over there.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah. I don't really know why they brought so much stuff. But I remember one kid, he was pulling his bag off, and he dropped his suitcase, and all this stuff just went everywhere. And I for the rest of the time, he kind of got uh, like, they kind of,
Raz for it.
yeah, he harassed for it. And then so they make us all stand on the yellow footprints, and then we go into Sexton Hall, which is like the main hall.
Mhm.
And we go in, and they go up processing, and then you get a phone call, like one phone call. And so I called my mom. I don't know if I called my mom or my dad, but I remember they were like, "What's going on? Like, what's happening?" And I was like, I had to read it off a tele. I'm like, "My name is Hayden Canalia. I've made it to Tracing Coast Guard Academy." I was so nervous, and I was so like, because while I'm on the phone, they're screaming at people all around me, and they're like walking around this big room, and I'm like, "I'll talk to you in a couple weeks. Goodbye. I love you." And my dad's like, "Wait, what?" And I hung up, and they're like, "Put your phones in a bag." That's the last time you saw your phone. But it was, yeah, yeah. So that was like the last time you saw your phone for a while, and
So
then
going to that, now I have to ask you this because I've always wanted to know this. Obviously, there's an age difference between you and I. I remember there was a time whenever we never had phones growing
yeah,
up.
exactly.
Never. So did you have that urge where you were like, holy crap, I don't have a phone. I don't have, like, you are literally stripped down to everything.
Yeah.
Like you have nothing. So did you have like DTs from not having your phone?
Um, Not really, to be honest.
No?
I before I left, kind of cut my phone usage down a lot.
Good.
I wasn't on like I didn't really use a whole lot of social media in the first place, and just kind of just to get myself ready. But I did and I didn't. Like they kept us so busy that it was like, okay, well, it's been 3 weeks and I haven't had my phone.
There are some kids having a hard time with it.
Oh, totally, totally, totally.
Wow. See, let me tell you, if I didn't have my TikTok, see, this is why
Yeah,
I don't join. This is why you don't want somebody like me to join the military. Number one, um, if you ever see me in a set of fatigues, I tell everybody, you better defect to the nearest country because if I'm
yeah,
your only line of defense, we have problems.
yeah.
That and I'm a nervous sweater. I
Mhm.
can't do it. If I get nervous, I'm drenched and I hate
Oh,
everybody and I don't like to run. So but when I think about all the things going over there, so you're in Cape May. Is it hot? Is it muggy? Is it cold? Is it like what is it? Is it like Orland where it's hotter than Satan's butthole, or is it just a different kind of heat? What is it?
It was so during the day. I remember for the first when we're in Sexton, we get put into a ROM period,
Mhm.
which is restriction of movement, quarantine. So you have that for 2 weeks. So you're just sitting there for 2 weeks at a desk, at attention like this, and you're studying for 2 weeks.
Ugh.
And like a lot of people quit during the ROM period just because like they went like actually like crazy. And I remember my buddy, one of my best friends, he's a really good guy. I still talk to him to this day. He actually ran out. So you have your quarters, and then there's a thing called a quarter deck, and that's just for us to get used to like station life or boat life. And he like got up and walked out and was just like, I quit. I'm done. And he actually ended up, so the company commander was like, all right, I'll figure it out. Just go back to your thing. He graduated before I did. Yeah. Yeah.
How the hell is that possible?
Yeah. I'm not sure. He actually ended up graduating before I did. And now he's loving his life. So, and we actually talked about this the other day. And he's like, I'm so glad I didn't quit because um he was in a different situation. So he got told that he didn't pass his colorblind test,
Mhm.
but then he didn't realize like the jobs that you can't get if you're colorblind.
Mhm.
So I think he ended up getting it wavered, something like that. But yeah, the ROM period was rough because it would like it poured for the first like 2 weeks. It just rained, like so cold rain, and then it gets super humid at like 2:30, 3 o'clock. And so the first week and a half, I didn't see like sunlight. It was just like no sun. It was just wet and humid and gross, and it was just nasty. And
Everyone's starting to smell bad.
yeah,
Everyone's starting to.
exactly. It was
Oh,
just it's Jersey weather, like it was Jersey weather, and it was it was definitely a like big change because you know how we're used to super hot, super cold. We're
mhm.
not Orland. It is very 110 during the summers, 30 degrees during the winters with
Yep.
super windy days. Like I was not used to humid almost at all. Like I'd never been in humidity for a long period of time. So yeah, there it was very like
I bet it was an education.
yeah, it was nasty. It was just ugh.
So at this point, were you starting to question your recruiter, or did it take you?
Um
You're like,
no.
that bastard lied to me.
No, my recruiter did a really good job. She told me like, hey, this is what's gonna happen. Like you're gonna go there, you're gonna do this, you're gonna do that, and you're gonna graduate. And um family friend, I'm not sure if you know him, Craig Graham.
Mhm.
He is a chief bosun's mate in the Coast Guard, and he walked me through step by step one day. It was like a 2 hour phone call, like everything that happened to him, but that was to him. Like that was a completely different time. And I'm pretty sure Captain Felger, she put out a statement talking about how basic training has changed since COVID because you can't be doing the same things. We're all masked up. We're all of us wearing masks at the time. Like we weren't allowed to we had boxes that we had to stay in, and we weren't allowed to. But no, I think the Coast Guard they did a really good job. Not a lot of us got sick.
Mhm.
We did get something called the Cape May crud, but that's like since there's so many people in a group together, um, where all of our like immune systems are just kind of like fighting each other's bacterias and stuff like that. So you get that for a little bit, but I don't think the entire time. I think the Tracing did a really good job at keeping everyone safe with COVID, and I think there was one case the entire time I was at.
That's
Um,
fantastic.
yeah, it was awesome. It was really good. They do a really good job, and they're very like strict about keeping your mask on and stuff like that. So
Mhm.
Yeah.
Well, also too, I mean, you know, I think at one point, you have to look at it as they have to do their job
Mhm.
absolutely strict because it makes you do a better job.
Oh yeah.
They're only as good as you guys look. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? So, I mean, that does work. I know being on the phone with your mom every night, it was just, I, I was vested only because, I mean, I you're like you're my nephew. And
Yeah.
she'd call and she'd say, I haven't heard from him. I haven't talked to him. And then
Yeah.
whenever you finally did, it
Oh,
was like,
man.
do not send me any food. Do not send me
Yeah.
any, like there was strict rules of
There.
everything that you had to do,
Mhm.
in order to keep you out of the spotlight because that's kind of you don't want to be noticed. You don't want
Yeah.
that spotlight on you.
Mhm.
It's kind of like that with every boot camp, isn't it?
I mean, I can only speak for the Coast Guard, but talking to my other buddies, you definitely don't want the spotlight on you. And there were times where the spotlight did get put on me a couple times, not because of like it was just stuff.
Random.
The company commanders do a really good job at picking the weak ones out of the group, and I was really fortunate. One of my company commanders, he was awesome. He's been doing it for a long time, and he really like would pick out the weak ones and then build them back up. If
Mhm.
that like he would discipline you, but then when he saw you were doing good, it was more. I don't want to say he was more lenient, but he was very like. I remember he saw me smiling one time, and he asked me. He was like, "Why are you smiling?" And I said, "Petty officer, his name." I said, "I'm just happy to be here." And yeah, this was after I got reverted. This was my this would be my so I got reverted week 5. So this was like my 7th week there, and I was just like, I'm happy to be here. I'm happy to be here. He's like, that's good to hear. And yeah, so but
Now, what week were you allowed to get mail?
I think it started in ROM. Like you could get mail at any time. They don't hold mail back from you at all.
Mhm.
They have someone come in every day if there is mail, and they put it on a desk. And yeah, so I think I wrote my first letter on the first day of ROM.
Mhm. And
Um,
I was very surprised, which I want to say this is I was very surprised at I've spoken to several people in different branches,
mhm,
and there you can write a recruit, whether you know them or not.
mhm,
And there are people that go that never receive a letter, never
yeah,
receive any ounce of encouragement from home, never even hear from them from the minute that they leave to the time that they come home after graduation. So they have had no support whatsoever,
yeah,
absolutely none.
mhm,
So I looked it up online. In fact, I'll tag it in the comments below.
mhm,
Whenever this is on, I'll tag it in Spotify and on Facebook. There's a website that you can go on for Coasties, Marines, Army. You can send it to a female recruit, a male recruit, or any recruit.
mhm.
And that's what I did because when I
Right.
heard that there was somebody, I was like, what do you mean they're not getting a letter? Like, what a
Yeah,
bunch of bullshit, you know? So
yeah,
it kind of upset me, so that's what I did. And then I was laughing because I ran out of cards. So I ended up sending you in Christmas cards because that's what I
yeah.
had left.
And yeah, so I was actually the mail person. So each company they break down jobs and stuff that go throughout the company, and um, there were people who wouldn't get any mail, and so a lot of people did send in those to any recruit,
Mm.
and I would give them to the people that I haven't given mail to in a while, or if I knew someone like had a really bad day, we got them a lot. We a lot of support coming in from like the civilian population, like with letters and stuff like that. It really does like
It does help.
oh, totally. Yeah. So Sundays you get, it, it's church hours. So you get time just to kind of sit and do your own thing for a little bit. You'll open mail and iron your uniforms and do other things and stuff like that. We would all sit down and just talk and read mail together. And a lot of the guys that wouldn't get emailed, they would just pull out those to any recruit, and they'd be like, "Look," she said, I'm very proud of you, and I'm glad you're doing this." And yeah, it was really like it. And a lot of the times, I would read my mail to my rackmate, or he would read it to me, just so we could like talk to each other. Because in the end, like that's the teamwork is what's going to make you guys come together.
Mhm. And did
Because
you have to explain this is my crazy ass aunt
I'm
that
like, so this is my Aunt Monica. She's sending Christmas cards in the middle of June. Yeah, and they all got a kick out of it. Everyone thought it was so funny. I actually have them all. I have all of my. They're back
really?
home. Yeah, they're back in
Mhm.
Orland, but I have a bag, and it's like full of just letters from everyone and stuff like that. But yes, I got all the Christmas cards, and I when I got them, so the company commanders, they have to go through the mail, um,
Oh, I
like
didn't.
just to like they look through it like to see like no
Oh,
pictures or nothing crazy. And they saw the Christmas card, and they're like, "Who is getting Christmas cards in June?" And he just kind of like put it back on the stack. He's like, "Whatever," and then he kind of like walked out, and I was like, "That'd be me."
that's my aunt.
That's my
I had all this stationery and I'm like, well, hell, he is, oh, the only thing you care about is what's inside the meat and
yeah, yeah.
potatoes. But I wanted to make sure every single letter that I wrote, and I think I did like 15 to any recruit. I did
Mhm.
females and males, and then I did any recruit. And it
Yeah,
was just a constant, it's hard, but we don't retreat. We don't
mhm,
retreat in this family. We reload and we keep going.
yeah,
That's what we do. And you apply that to every single aspect that you possibly can. That's what you have to do. I don't
yeah.
give a crap who you are or what you're doing. You don't retreat. Reload, hit
Mhm.
the line again and go.
Yeah.
So when you what week is it where you can finally like, okay, I can relax? Or is it just there's no such thing as that?
Um, it was more like pedal to the metal week 1 through, I would say 6. You know, you're it because I mean, I thought I was in the clear when I was in week 5,
Yeah.
and then we had something happened, and I got put on probation. Which probation, it's just a bright red belt that they make you wear, and
Uh-huh.
like, and I mean, every company commander that sees you in the belt is it's just what's your 10th general order? What's your who is then or they'll ask you who's your whole chain of command. It's just there's so many questions. What's a bowline not used for? What's a square not used for? What's the length of a 45? What's it's just all these different questions. And if you answer them wrong, you get a tracker, which oh man, the trackers they're just folded up pieces of paper and they have your name on them, and then the company commanders will write um, like what you messed up on, and they'll submit a tracker,
Mm.
and it goes into like your record or something like that. Or they'll ask you like, what's the caller device for a Echo 6, or what is this, or just a bunch of different questions. So I got put on probation, I think, for stuttering. Yeah, that's yeah. So I got put on probation for stuttering. I was stuttering. I stuttered through like my chain of command or something like that, which that's just when you have to like go from the lowest uh, ranked uh, company commander in your command, and then you have to go all the way up to the president of the United States. So you have to know all of that in between, and it's like I think it's like 15 names, 15 or 16, depending on how many company commanders you have. Some companies they have 4 company commanders, some they only have 2. There's different numbers, and then the chain of command changes all the time because some people they get promoted, and then some people they get out or they'll retire.
Oh,
So yeah, it's very very like it changes so much. It changes all the time.
I don't even remember my social security number half the time. There
Yeah.
is no way that I would remember. It just wouldn't happen.
Yeah.
So so even at week 5, whenever you got reverted, and then going forward, so basically you don't get a breath of like relief until what, the day of graduation?
No, no, not. I would even graduation. So after I got reverted, I went from week 5. to week 3 because there was no one in between Tango and uniform company. Um, there was no one. There was no there's no middle ground. So it was just 2 week reversion. So went through uniform, and then I got put in REG, which is like a regimental hold element for a week, and then I got put into Victor, and then that's the class I graduated with. But I would say the end of week 7, you get more, like you get your Coast Guard hat. It
Mhm.
says, so the entire time you're wearing a hat that says recruit. It's bright yellow letters, and it just says recruit. And then I'm pretty sure it's 7. You get a hat that says um, United States Coast Guard, and it has a pin in the middle. And after that, like, unless you do something really like stupid, like don't do anything dumb. Um, you're not supposed to do anything stupid. By then, you know everything you're supposed to do. But even in week 8, we had someone who got reverted 2 days before they graduated. So yeah, you're very, but
Holy crap.
I mean, I understand it now,
Yeah.
uh, because the working in the Coast Guard, it's very like it's stressful. Like you gotta have that mental stress, like calm down, and you have to be able to perform under high stress. So they don't want, and it could not only get you hurt, but it could also get you or your crew hurt
Mhm.
at the time. So I mean, I totally get it. I totally understand the whole reversion process now. But when it happens, it's probably the worst feeling on the planet.
Oh, I
Like
bet.
it
So so let's go to your graduation. It's that day seemed like it took forever. Like it seemed like from the minute that your parents got there, I mean, you were there, but you still aren't physical. You still can't
yeah,
reach out and touch your child that you have been missing for all these weeks.
yeah.
Did it dawn on you by then that, like, was it kind of like, was it this closure or was it even excitement for more for what was coming towards you? And did you know at that time where you were going to be sent?
Yeah, yeah. So we got orders. I got my orders when I was with uniform in week 5. They gave us our orders a little bit early,
Mm-hmm.
but every company is different. Some people, they get their orders super late. It's all it's all on how the lead company commander feels. But I remember we were all sitting around, just talking. We were all just sitting around this big circle, and I'm not sure where it was on because Trace and Cape May's huge. It's really big. It's huge, and we were all sitting down and talking, all sitting down, just like wondering like what was going on. And our company commanders come in, and they start reading off. They go, da da da, going to Cutter Mohawk, and I'm like, oh my god, this is where it is. Like, and when I got reverted, I was getting my orders the next day.
Oh,
Like, so I didn't know where I was going for an extra 2 weeks,
uh-huh.
and so I had put in on my request. So you fill out a sheet in a class, and it's called a dream sheet. Recruiters don't really, or not recruiters, detailers, they don't really look at them all that much. I put I would really enjoy a cutter going up to the Arctic Circle, because I really wanted to go and see the Arctic Circle, because
Hmm.
that's a once in a lifetime opportunity. Like
Oh,
that
yeah.
that's does not happen. And I'm like, or a cutter out of Alaska, or a station in Alaska. And then I remember we were all just sitting there, and I heard my name. They were like, I was a seaman at the time, and they were like, Seaman Canalia, Coast Guard station, and then they said it, and I was just like, oh my god, what the heck? That is insane. Like I obviously didn't say anything, but I just stood there like a statue, and I'm pretty sure I cried. I'm pretty sure I cried at the time, because I hadn't heard like where I was going, and I was the only one out of uniform that got a station where they wanted it. So I
Really?
put, yeah, my top five. I mean, obviously, I put Alaska. So it gets broken up into districts.
Hmm.
Um, so I put like the district that Alaska is in. I'm pretty sure that's 14. I'm not sure. I don't know all of the district
Yeah.
numbers or anything like that. But I wanted like Alaska, or Oregon, Washington, or Louisiana, I think. And then on number five, I put Hawaii, just because I was like, oh, everyone wants Hawaii. Everyone wants to go there, and I'm like, well, I haven't been there, so let's see, And then I get stationed here, and it's just like, what the heck? This is actually insane.
Hmm.
And then my friend that I actually went to MEPS with is on a is on another island in Hawaii.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah, insane.
Now, looking back, now I asked you this when you came home after basic, and I was really surprised when I said, "Do you regret this?" And you said, "Absolutely not." My recruiter was honest with me.
Mhm.
You know, I foobarred, but I fixed it, and this is my life.
Yep.
I have never, usually when I talk to people, whether it be in the Marines, the Army, even the Air Force, Navy, they always say, "Man, I tell you what, I wish I would have never done this. I wish I would have
Mhm.
stayed. I wish I would have, done something." But you were, I mean, you kind of, even being in a bubble that we are in this town,
Yeah.
you knew going in there, this is going to suck. This is going to be the
Yeah.
absolute worst, horrible shit I have ever been through. But their job is to tear you down, to build you back up to the man that you need to
Totally.
be. And so there was no hesitation when you answered that.
Yeah.
Do you still feel that way?
Yeah. I mean, it was definitely all worth it. I mean, I get to save lives for a job. That's
Hmm.
pretty insane. I mean, I'm 19, and I'm doing stuff that you watch on TV. Like literally, you get to watch on TV, like what I do every day.
Hmm.
It's pretty crazy. I mean, I've sent pictures to my dad, my mom, just like of me working and or like what I get to do, or I'll tell them about a case or what I'm doing today or what I'm fixing today or just all this other stuff. And it really is. It's just like a dream. It doesn't even feel real sometimes.
Wow.
But I will say, there are times that it gets like a little, I wish I was home. But I understand that it's just part of it. It's
Hmm.
all part of the greater plan. Um, and I think it was worth it. I mean, I've heard a lot of people from different branches and even Coast Guard that are like, well, I wish I would have went to college, or I wish I would have done this, or I wish I would have done that. But Coast Guard gives you that opportunity to do those sort of things. So like I could still go to school while I'm in the Coast Guard and get my degree while I'm in, not pay for it all or
Hmm.
most of it, and then I get out and I have a degree. So it's pretty insane. It's definitely crazy that I'm in the Coast Guard. Sometimes I have to like sit back and I have to think about that for a second. It's like, holy cow, I'm actually doing this.
I'm doing this, and I'm not having to go to Black Butte in the summertime, and I'm not having to, you know, you get you get the best of both worlds. I mean, that is absolutely insane. But I
Yeah.
do know, uh, so you've obviously met a lot of people. You've kind of, do you get homesick at all? I mean, just to scotch, or are you kind of like, this is my life, this is what I have to do? Is there anything you miss from Orland?
Yeah. So I definitely miss home. I miss all my friends. Like I miss my family, obviously. But I mean, with how technology is nowadays, like I actually just talked to my Joseph Silver. I just talked to him for like 30 minutes on the phone. And I mean, even though I'm far away, like I know they know that like I miss them and everything like that. And same with my family.
Mhm.
Get to talk to them whenever I can. Um, I mean, yeah, I do get homesick. Um, Sometimes like on Sunday this morning. So I was so used to like my mom every Sunday, you know, she'd be like, all right, I'm making breakfast. Like, what do you want? Or like I miss like that. But I also think it's like part of growing up, you know, it's definitely part of it. I miss playing softball. I miss like
I miss you playing softball
yeah,
with me.
yeah, I miss everyone that like I would hang out with. And but I mean, I think I miss like knowing so many people because Orland is very small, and I miss like driving through and seeing my coach that my wrestling coach. I miss driving through and being like, oh, there goes Monica, she's off to work. Or I
Yep.
miss how simple Orland is, but I mean, I'm glad I got out to see the world while I can, you know.
Absolutely. And also too, talking to your mom, I know we had several conversations and I told her this is a mantra that you're going to have to know. And when it's my time, my child is only 11,
Hmm.
but when it's my time, our kids are not ours to keep.
Yeah,
We wish we could keep you, but we can't. And you are going to have stories upon stories. And I think now, mind you, I know 2020 completely sucked,
yeah,
but at the same time, it kind of built up to where you were used to FaceTiming, not being able to see people.
exactly.
And I think that kind of it was a hindrance, but it also helped a little bit too,
Oh
as
yeah,
well,
yeah.
So I think there's that. But so
Mhm.
is there any recruiting, like, is there anything if somebody listening to this and they're wanting to they're on the fence of like, should I do the Coast Guard? Should I do the Army? Should I do the Navy? Should I do the Marines? And I know coasties are 100% for you, but you truly mean that, right? It's
Oh yeah, totally. I've had a great time being where I'm at, and I think if you're on the fence about the Coast Guard, definitely look into it.
Mhm.
But just know you're gonna have to study. Like if you're getting ready to go to basic training, like right now, study so much because it's just gonna help you in the long run. When you could spit out what the collar device for an Echo 4 is like off the top of your head like that, or when you could do your 10 general orders just super quick without messing up, it's gonna look good on you no matter what.
Mhm.
And I'm pretty sure that's with all branches. I guarantee they test you in different ways and stuff like that. But definitely go in to your recruiting station. It's gonna be a little bit of a process though because you're not just Department of Defense. You're also Homeland Security as well.
Mhm.
So
And coasties are through the United States. You guys never, I mean, that's one thing that stupidly I didn't pay attention to that. I'm a complete dum dum at times, but you stay within the United States. I mean, is that true or no?
no, so there are different cutters that go to
Oh, okay.
Japan, Asia, and stuff like that. And actually, there's Bahrain, which
Hmm.
we just go and we work in Bahrain. I'm not 100% what we do all the time over there, but yeah, there's opportunities to go to different countries and stuff like that. But
Fantastic.
yeah, I mean, it's definitely nice not being in you know Afghanistan or you
Ah,
know like
yeah,
it's nice being on home soil for a little bit.
yeah. So, and you're like, was it hard for you to find something to do, especially being so far away from home? Have you had to find different outlets of, hobbies that you never thought you would ever have, or learning different things, like being open-minded? Was that hard for you? Because I know here in Orland, we stick to the same thing over and over and over again.
Mhm.
Dirt, quads. That's
Yeah,
what we do.
yeah,
There, it's kind of hard to do that.
yeah, definitely. So I definitely tried surfing. uh,
And
I'm not the best at it. I mean, it's a hard sport to get into, but I mean, it's it is what it is. I've gotten into like taking pictures of my buddy surfing, and I'm really liking that. Um, and then just I don't know, I really like being able to go and just like go on a walk and just go walk down by the beach and like just chill out. Like I don't know, it's been harder to go out and like do things because like I'm not sure what there is to do here yet. Like I'm
Yeah.
still pretty new here, and but I'm sure with time it'll all be fine. But I mean, definitely being open minded to every place that you get to go is nice. But I mean, I got really lucky. You know, I got really lucky when I got Hawaii. Like I can't
Oh,
like
you can't complain.
dream station, right? Like so
Yeah.
it's
The
uh
butter is cutting with a very soft knife. I mean, the butter is soft, let me
yeah
tell you.
yeah.
You have two siblings.
Hmm.
You have a sister and a brother. I know that it's really hard on them being away, but they're so proud of you. And I think that's, you know, you're starting this legacy, and they are looking up to you and they are seeing that and they are would you encourage them to join as well if they had an opportunity?
Um, I I wouldn't be like tell them no,
Yeah.
obviously, but I definitely want them to do what makes them the happiest. I know Emma is a total geek when it comes to horses and stuff like that. Like that's her thing. She loves horses and stuff like that, and I really want to see her do something with that.
Hmm.
Whether it be training horses or whatever, whatever it could be. And Gage, she's so smart with computers and phones and stuff like that. I don't, I mean, the possibilities for Gage and Emma are both endless. But I mean, if they want to take the Coast Guard route, then if that makes them happy, then yeah, I would totally support it. It's a great way to live. You get to do things that are unimaginable, like crazy stuff that is just it's just insane to know that I get to do it all the time.
Mhm. So in closing, is there anything that you want to say to your folks? Is there anything you want anybody to know? Is there anything that I can help you with or whatever you want people to know?
Just I miss everyone back home. Miss I'll be home soon, hopefully.
Hmm.
Um, Miss everyone. Love and support everyone. The support that I've been getting is great, and I really appreciate it.
Hmm.
Uh, I love everyone that's been, texting me or calling me, saying like, "We're so proud of you" and stuff like that. But yeah, I really appreciate all those people in my life, and I miss them. And I'm glad they're in my corner, and I have them with me. So
Hmm.
yeah,
And I also heard somebody got a Papasan chair. So
I did get a pop song.
let me tell you, I love you more than my life. However, I looked at shipping of shit over to Hawaii. Like, holy crap. I'm sending
Yeah,
it there, not to Chelsea Clinton, for Christ's sakes.
yeah.
I could not believe how expensive things are. Like, I
Mhm.
was like, well, it is an island. I mean, that does happen. That makes sense. But I was like, he's gonna get it when he gets home.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, the shipping here is definitely insane, and yeah, it's pretty crazy. How much difference it costs between like, oh, can you bring it to Chico, or hey, I'm in Hawaii. It's just
Yeah.
like $500 to get something shipped over here. It's just like, what the heck,
I
you
know.
know?
And it's literally a tin of cookies. It's like
Yeah,
nothing big. I was like,
yeah,
Jesus. Yeah.
yeah.
But no,
It's
your mom told me you got a Papasan chair. This is going to be posted. We're in the month of December, so Christmas is right around the corner. You ended up getting, yeah, and your parents came to visit you. They had a great time, but she said you needed some furniture.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I just had my bed at the time, and then my apartment came with like folding chairs. So we had folding chairs, and when they came, we had dinner and my apartment came with a table, which I was very, very fortunate to get.
Oh,
And yeah, so we all sat on the folding chairs, and there was only 4 folding chairs, so I had to sit on the counter of my apartment. But yeah, definitely needed some furniture. But
and
I
that's
mean,
another thing. You're living by yourself for the first
mhm,
time. You
yeah,
know, I mean, that is, I mean, you come from a family of five. There are five of you.
yeah.
And then you go to nothing. How was the quiet? Was it so quiet where you? Was
It
that
was,
the weirdest part?
it was weird. Like when I first moved into my apartment, um, I was like, I'm pretty no. So I went out to go grab some dinner, and I literally went, "Hey mom, I'm gonna go grab some dinner," and walked out. I'm like, "Wait, hold on, I don't have to do that anymore. I'm an adult." Like, or I'll text my mom and be like, "Hey, gonna be home late," and I catch myself like right when I'm about to send it, like, "Dude, you live by yourself. You don't have," and but I don't know the way they, yeah, like the way they raised me and stuff like that. They raised me so well to where I'm home in bed by like 10 o'clock.
Yep.
So I mean, yes, but I mean, definitely not complaining about it. But like I don't like go out and go to parties or anything like that. I'm not, going crazy. But
You know, when I first got together with Randy,
mm,
I was 18. He was obviously years older than I was, but I remember we got together in 1997. And the first time we went to his brother and sister-in-law's house, we were sitting at the kitchen table, 18 years old,
mhm,
and they had two kids, and they turned and they said, "Okay, kids, we're going to go put a movie on, and then we're going to have adult time at the kitchen table." And
mhm.
I literally remember dropping my fork going, I wonder what movie we're going to watch.
Yeah,
Like
yeah, literally, yeah,
I was like, oh, wait a minute. And then come to find out, I would have rather have watched the movie because the only thing we talked about was insurance and shit. And I wasn't impressed with that. I was like, this is a
boring
bunch of
stuff.
crap. I would rather have watched Lion King. This was no fun. This
Yeah,
is all serious shit. I didn't want that.
yeah,
Yeah, it's very bizarre. It is very, very bizarre. But
very.
that is a true statement. The way that you were raised
Mm,
is phenomenal. And
oh yeah.
this is definitely not only your accomplishment, but their accomplishment and
Oh,
testament.
totally.
So yeah.
Yeah, they did a really good job, I think, and they're doing just as good as a job with Gage and Emma and stuff like that.
Yes.
And I think that the way like they brought me up really kind of shows like how I live my life now. Like I'm not, going out and I'm not doing stupid stuff. I'm just very content with being at home and getting my studying done or doing go to work and be 15 minutes early to work every morning. And I don't know, the way they raised me, just it definitely reflects now.
Mm.
I'm was super fortunate to be raised the way I was and get as much love as I did.
Well, you're an old soul, and that's what I love about you. I think you're phenomenal, and I want to do this again.
Oh,
I want
totally.
to, whenever we get restationed somewhere else, I want
Yeah.
everybody to know this. I cannot begin to tell you how proud I am of you.
Yeah.
And like I said, I love you more than my life. I appreciate this. This is going to be great. This is going to be broadcast all over. So everybody, if you get an opportunity, I want you to check this out. This has been a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And see, it wasn't as bad as you thought, right?
No, not at all.
No, see, it's just us. It is just us.
Hmm.
So everybody, I want to thank Hayden Canalia for coming, Fireman Canalia. I want to thank Hayden for coming in and hanging out with me. You guys can always check me out on Facebook. We're available on Facebook, Instagram, Spotify. You guys can check us out on all social medias. Don't forget to like and share the page. This will also be uploaded to YouTube. And if you guys have any questions, you guys can always email me at noconditions2020@gmail.com. And I am also available on Tuesday and Thursday live with Steve and Monica's show, Steve Appel, Monica Rossman, No Holds Barred. Can't forget it on Facebook. All right, my love. I love you so much.
I love you
Thank you
too.
so much. And we will definitely do this again.
Yes, yes. I look forward to it.
All
Thank you for
right,
having me.
guys. Take care. We'll see you soon.
All right, bye.